I'm going to tell you about the night a 7 million won wallet changed my life. But first you need to understand something. I was 30 seconds away from stealing it. The rain didn't just fall that night in Seoul. It attacked. Sheets of water turned the streets into rivers, and lightning cracked the sky like God himself was angry. 11:47 p.m. Mama's Seoul kitchen. Table 7. Chioma Okafor's hands were shaking as she stared at the black leather wallet sitting on the booth seat. She'd already opened it. Already counted the money. 7 million won in crisp bills that smelled like possibility and sin. Her daughter Zuri's medication cost 215,000 won, and she only had 43,000 to her name. The math was simple. The choice was impossible. That's when the door slammed open. A man in a soaking wetsuit stood in the doorway, water streaming off him like he'd just walked out of the ocean. His eyes, dark, dangerous, devastatingly intense, locked onto Chioma. "That's mine," he said in Korean, pointing at the wallet in her hands. Time stopped. Chioma's fingers tightened on the leather. She hadn't stolen it. Not yet. But she'd thought about it. Oh God, she'd thought about it so hard. I was going to call. Were you? He moved closer, water pooling on the floor with each step. Or were you counting how much you needed versus how much I'd notice missing? His voice wasn't angry. It was worse than that. It was understanding. And that's when Chioma Okafor made the decision that would either save her life or destroy it. She slammed the wallet down on the table between them. Every single one is still there. Her Nigerian accent thickened with anger and adrenaline. 7 million won. 34 cards. 1 photograph of a woman and a boy. 3 receipts. 1 movie ticket stub. I counted it all because I wanted to make sure I returned everything. The man, this stranger in his expensive suit, stared at her like she'd just spoken in an alien language. You counted it to return it? What else would I count it for? Chioma was breathing hard, her heart hammering against her ribs. She'd been in Seoul for 15 years and she was tired. Tired of working double shifts. Tired of being invisible. Tired of people looking at her brown skin and making assumptions. But she was not a thief. Do you know how rare you are? The man's voice was soft now, almost reverent. I'm not rare. I'm just not a criminal. She pushed the wallet toward him. Take it. And next time be more careful. She turned to walk away and his hand shot out, not grabbing her, just hovering near her wrist. Wait. Please. That please stopped her cold. Men who wore suits that expensive didn't usually say please to broke waitresses. What? He picked up the wallet with one hand, but his eyes never left her face. My name is Kang Min-jun, and I need to tell you something that's going to sound insane. Sir, it's midnight, I've been working since 6 a.m., and I have a 7-year-old daughter waiting at home. Unless you're about to tell me I won the lottery, I don't. I left that wallet here on purpose. Chioma froze. What? It's a test. I've done it 43 times in 15 years across 12 cities. Min-jun's jaw tightened. You're the first person who ever passed. The fluorescent lights hummed. Rain hammered the windows. And Chioma felt the world tilt sideways. You're telling me you wanted someone to find 7 million won? I wanted to prove that everyone's corrupt. That kindness is extinct. That my cynicism is justified. He looked at her with eyes that held too much pain for someone so young. And then you counted everyone to make sure you could return it all. Chioma laughed. A sharp, disbelieving sound that bordered on hysteria. So this was some kind of, what? Social experiment? Rich man's game. It's not a game. His voice cracked. It's a promise I made to my dying brother 20 years ago. And you just proved that maybe, just maybe, I haven't completely wasted my life. Something in his expression, raw and bleeding and desperate, made Chioma sink into the booth across from him. Tell me, she said softly. Tell me about your brother. And Kang Min-jun, one of the most powerful men in Seoul's underworld, sat across from a Nigerian waitress in a rundown Seoul food restaurant and told her everything. The story. His name was Tae-young. He was 10 when he found a wallet. Min-jun's hands wrapped around the leather like it was made of glass and memories. We were poor. Dongdaemun District, Apartment so small you could touch both walls at the same time. Our mother was dying of cancer. No insurance. No money. No hope. Chioma leaned forward, caught in the gravity of his story. Taeyoung found a wallet outside our building. 300,000 won inside. That was more money than we'd seen in years. I told him I was 17. I thought I knew everything. I told him to keep it. Pay for mother's medicine. Keep us fed. Minjun's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. He looked at me with these big, serious eyes and said, "Hyung, what if this person needs it as badly as we do?" Then he found a number in the wallet and called. Returned every single one. What happened? The owner was a chaebol, powerful family, dangerous connections. He was so moved by a 10-year-old's honesty that he gave us double the money. Paid for mother's entire treatment. Saved her life. Chioma's eyes filled with tears. That's beautiful. Taeyoung died 5 years later. The words fell like stones. Wrong place, wrong time. Territorial dispute between rival organizations. He was 15 years old. Minjun looked up, and Chioma saw a grief so deep it had its own gravity. His last words were, "Be good, Hyung. Promise me you'll be good." But you weren't, Chioma said softly. I became exactly what I needed to become to survive.
You don't want to miss out on the part 2 of this mind-blowing movie clip, so kindly subscribe, turn on the notification bell, also like and comment your best scene. I'm waiting. Please subscribe now so you don't miss out on best unpredictable Afro-Korean love stories on the YouTube space. Thanks for watching.
And you just proved that maybe, just maybe, I haven't completely wasted my life. Something in his expression, raw and bleeding and desperate, made Chioma sink into the booth across from him. Tell me, she said softly. Tell me about your brother. And Kang Minjun, one of the most powerful men in Seoul's underworld, sat across from a Nigerian waitress in a rundown Seoul food restaurant and told her everything. The story. His name was Taeyoung. He was 10 when he found a wallet. Minjun's hands wrapped around the leather like it was made of glass and memories. We were poor. Dongdaemun district, apartment so small you could touch both walls at the same time. Our mother was dying of cancer. No insurance. No money. No hope. Chioma leaned forward, caught in the gravity of his story. Taeyoung found a wallet outside our building. 300,000 won inside. That was more money than we'd seen in years. I told him I was 17. I thought I knew everything. I told him to keep it. Pay for mother's medicine. Keep us fed. Minjun's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. He looked at me with these big, serious eyes and said, "Hyung, what if this person needs it as badly as we do?" Then he found a number in the wallet and called. Returned every single one. What happened? The owner was a chaebol, powerful family, dangerous connections. He was so moved by a 10-year-old's honesty that he gave us double the money. Paid for mother's entire treatment. Saved her life. Chioma's eyes filled with tears. That's beautiful. Taeyoung died 5 years later. The words fell like stones. Wrong place, wrong time. Territorial dispute between rival organizations. He was 15 years old. Minjun looked up, and Chioma saw a grief so deep it had its own gravity. His last words were, "Be good, Hyung. Promise me you'll be good." But you weren't, Chioma said softly. I became exactly what I needed to become to survive. Built an empire on things that would make Taeyoung ashamed. And every year on his birthday I take his wallet, the one he gave me before he died, and I leave it somewhere. Testing. Searching. Searching for what? Proof that people like him still exist. Or proof that I was right to become a monster. Chioma reached across the table and took his hand. His skin was cold, and he flinched like he wasn't used to gentle touch. I don't think you're a monster. You don't know me. No. But I know that monsters don't cry when they talk about their brothers. And I know that anyone who spends 15 years looking for goodness hasn't completely given up on it. Minjun stared at their joined hands like he was seeing a miracle. What's your name? Your full name? Chioma Adiz Okafor. It means God is beautiful and princess in Igbo. Chioma. He tested the name on his tongue. You're not what I expected. What did you expect? Someone to prove I was right about the world. Instead, you proved I was wrong about everything. The air between them crackled with something neither of them had names for yet. Mr. Kong. Minjun. Please. Minjun, she corrected. It's late and I need to get home to Zuri. But, thank you for telling me about Taeyang. She stood to leave and he stood too, suddenly urgent. I want to see you again. Why? Because in a world full of people who want something from me, you wanted nothing. And that makes you the most dangerous person I've ever met. Chioma smiled, the first real smile she'd allowed herself in months. Dangerous. To my worldview. My cynicism. My carefully constructed walls. He pulled out a business card. I'm opening a restaurant. High-end Nigerian Korean fusion. I need someone to manage it. Someone who understands hard work. Someone who can't be bought. You're offering me a job? We just met. No. I'm offering you a chance to prove that tonight wasn't a fluke. That you're really who you seem to be. His eyes held hers. And I'm asking, hoping, that you'll give me a chance to prove I can be better than what I became. Chioma took the card, her fingers brushing his. This is crazy. Completely insane, Minjun agreed. But crazy is calling a stranger at 1 a.m. to return his wallet. Crazy is staying honest when nobody would ever know. So maybe crazy is exactly what we both need. Stop right there. Before we continue, comment below. Would you have kept the wallet or called? Be honest. And if your heart is already racing from this first meeting, smash that like button because what happens next will blow your mind. These two have no idea what they're about to walk into. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because this love story is about to get intense. The morning after, Chioma didn't sleep that night. She sat at her tiny kitchen table, staring at Minjun's business card like it might bite her. In the next room, Zuri slept peacefully, her small chest rising and falling with each breath. 200,000 won a month. That's what the card listed as starting salary. Chioma currently made 300,000 won a month. On good months, working 70-hour weeks. This job would be 40 hours. Regular schedule. Benefits. And most impossibly, health insurance for Zuri. It was too good to be true. Which meant it probably was. Her phone buzzed at 6 a.m. Unknown number. This is inappropriate, I know. But I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what you said, that I'm not a monster. I want to believe that. MJ. Chioma stared at the text for a full minute before responding. Monsters don't care what other people think of them. The fact that you care means there's still hope. See. 3 dots appeared immediately. Then. Have coffee with me. This morning. Please. I'll send a car. I have to take Zuri to school. Bring her. There's a cafe next to her school. I checked. Chioma's breath caught. How do you know where she goes to school? I had you investigated. I'm sorry. Old habits from a world where trust gets you killed. But I'm trying to be different. Starting with complete honesty. Even when it makes me look bad. She should have been angry. Should have blocked his number. Should have thrown his business card in the trash. Instead, she typed. 7:45 a.m. Café Biom. And you're buying. I'd buy you the whole cafe if you asked. Chioma smiled despite herself, then added. Also, stop investigating me. It's creepy. Done. From now on I only know what you choose to tell me. You have my word. The coffee shop. Café Biom was one of those trendy Seoul coffee shops where a latte cost more than Chioma's hourly wage. She almost turned around when she saw it. But Minjun was already there, sitting at a corner table, looking devastatingly handsome in casual clothes that probably still cost a fortune. And next to him, is that jollof rice? Chioma blurted out. Minjun stood smiling. A real smile that transformed his entire face. I called every Nigerian restaurant in Seoul at 6 a.m. until I found one that would deliver. Thought, I don't know. I wanted you to have a taste of home. Zuri tugged on Chioma's hand. Mama, who is this? This is Mr. Kong, baby. He's a friend. Minjun knelt down to Zuri's level, which Chioma noted with a strange flutter in her chest. You can call me Minjun Appa. And you must be the famous Zuri. Your mother says you're the smartest person she knows. Zuri giggled, suddenly shy. She says that because I'm her daughter. Smart and humble. Impressive. He pulled out a small wrapped package. This is for you. Your mom said you like to draw. Zuri looked at Chioma for permission. At her nod, she tore open the paper to reveal a professional art set, the kind Chioma could never afford. This is too much, Chioma started. It's a gift from someone who wants to see what beautiful things a beautiful name creates, Minjun said softly. No strings. Just kindness. Zuri threw her arms around Minjun's neck, and Chioma watched this dangerous man, this self-proclaimed reformed monster, melt completely. Thank you, Minjun Appa. After Zuri skipped off to school, Chioma sat across from Minjun, the jollof rice between them like an offering. You didn't have to do this. I know. I wanted to. He poured her coffee, perfectly sweetened without asking how she took it. I spent last night researching Nigerian culture. Did you know Chioma appears in over 50 Igbo proverbs? You researched my name? I researched everything about you that's publicly available. Not invasively, he added quickly. I wanted to understand. You're the first person in 15 years who made me feel something other than cynicism. I wanted to know why. Chioma took a sip of perfectly made coffee and felt something dangerous bloom in her chest. Hope. So about this job offer, she said carefully. Still available. Still real. Still completely above board. Minjun leaned forward. But I need to be honest about something else. What? The restaurant is real. The job is real. But Chioma. He took a breath. The way I felt when you handed me that wallet? The way my heart stopped when you walked away? The way I spent all night thinking about your smile and your integrity and your strength. His eyes met hers with an intensity that stole her breath. That's real too. And I don't do casual. I don't do surface. When I decide I want something, someone, I'm all in. Completely. Devotedly. Maybe even destructively. That's a lot for a second meeting, Chioma managed. I know. I'm terrifying you. But you asked for honesty, and I'm trying to be the man Taeyong wanted me to be. That man doesn't play games. He doesn't hide what he wants. Minjun reached across the table, stopping just short of touching her hand. I want to know everything about you. I want to earn your trust. I want to prove that one phone call at 1 a.m. can change two people's entire lives. And if I take the job, then you take the job. No pressure. No expectations. You work, I pay you, and we build something good together. The restaurant. Maybe friendship. Maybe what? His smile was soft and devastating. Maybe something neither of us has words for yet. Chioma's phone alarm chimed. Time to leave for her shift at Mama's Soul Kitchen. But as she stood to go, she made a decision that would change everything. I'll take the job. But Minjun? I need time. I need to know this is real. Not just some gratitude or novelty or, I'll wait. He stood too, and the space between them felt electric. I've waited 15 years for someone like you. I can wait as long as you need. Chioma reached out and squeezed his hand, brief, electric, terrifying. Thank you. For the jollof rice. For the honesty. For seeing me. Chioma, Minjun said as she walked toward the door. You're impossible not to see. Okay, stop. Comment right now, are you team she should be careful or team girl take the leap? Because what's about to happen will change everything. This isn't just a love story anymore. It's about to become dangerous. Hit that subscribe button because the next 30 minutes will introduce the villain, the twist, and a moment that'll have you screaming at your screen. Don't you dare click away. When danger meets desire. The first day, the restaurant was called Adnan, Yoruba for sweetness. And it was the most beautiful thing Chioma had ever seen. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Gangnam. Warm lighting that made everything glow like honey. Artwork from Nigerian and Korean artists covering the walls. A kitchen that gleamed like a spaceship. And in the center of it all, Minjun directing contractors in perfect Korean, then switching to English when he saw her. You came, he said, and the relief in his voice was palpable. Did you think I wouldn't? I thought maybe you'd wake up and realize I'm insane for offering a restaurant manager position to someone I met 12 hours ago. Chioma laughed, bright and genuine. Oh, you're definitely insane. But so am I for accepting. The next 2 weeks were a whirlwind. Chioma learned the restaurant business from the ground up. Not just managing but understanding. Minjun refused to let her just take orders. He wanted her voice, her vision, her culture infused into every decision. "What kind of Nigerian dishes remind you of home?" he'd ask. "What Korean flavors would your mother have loved? If Zuri could design the kids' menu, what would she include?" He valued her opinion like it was gold. Listened like every word mattered. And slowly, terrifyingly, Chioma felt walls she built over 15 hard years in Seoul beginning to crumble. Because Minjun wasn't just beautiful or wealthy or powerful. He was kind. He remembered that she took her coffee with too much sugar and a splash of cream. He scheduled her hours around Zuri's school. He never interrupted when she spoke. He learned Igbo phrases to surprise her, badly pronounced but earnestly attempted. And he looked at her like she hung the moon. "You're staring," Chioma said one evening, catching him watching her approve menu designs. "I'm admiring. There's a difference." "What's the difference?" Minjun moved closer, not invading her space, but close enough that she could smell his cologne. "Staring is passive. Admiring is active appreciation, wonder, gratitude that something so beautiful exists in the world." Chioma's breath caught. "Minjun, I'm not going to kiss you," he said softly. "Not until you ask me to. Not until you're absolutely certain." "But Chioma." "Yes. I think about kissing you approximately every 30 seconds, and it's making me insane." She laughed, surprised and delighted. "That's very honest. You asked for honesty. I'm delivering." He stepped back, giving her space. "Now about the opening night menu." But Chioma couldn't focus on menus anymore. Because she just realized something terrifying. She wanted him to kiss her too. The shadow. The first threat came on a Tuesday. Chioma was locking up the restaurant. Minjun had left early for a business meeting, when she noticed the car. Black sedan. Tinted windows. Engine running. Seoul was full of black sedans. But something about this one made her skin crawl. She walked quickly toward the subway, her hand tight on her phone. The car followed. At the station entrance, a man stepped out. Expensive suit. Cold eyes. A smile that held no warmth. "Chioma Okafor," he said in perfect English. "We need to talk about Kang Minjun." Every instinct screamed run. "I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play stupid. It's insulting." He pulled out a photograph. Minjun leaving a courthouse surrounded by security. "Did he tell you what he does? What he really does?" "He runs import-export." The man laughed. "Is that what he called it?" "Sweetheart, Kang Minjun is one of the biggest crime bosses in Seoul. Shipping routes for heroin, money laundering, protection rackets. The man you're falling for has more blood on his hands than a battlefield surgeon." Chioma's world tilted. "I don't believe you. You don't have to." He handed her a USB drive. "Everything's on here. Financial records, police reports, witness statements, and Miss Okafor." He leaned in close and Chioma smelled cigarettes and menace. "Minjun is cooperating with federal prosecutors. He's testifying against the Japa Korean mob, which means everyone he's betraying wants him dead. And anyone close to him." His smile turned cruel. "They become targets too. You and that pretty little daughter of yours." He walked away, leaving Chioma standing at the subway entrance, USB drive burning in her hand like a bomb. That night Chioma didn't sleep. She plugged the USB into her ancient laptop with shaking hands.
If this story touched your heart, don't leave without liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who loves beautiful stories. More breathtaking Afro-Korean tales are coming. Don't miss them.